one. We are starting to talk about the anterior compartment of the thigh, and everything you see on here is very crucial. Uh, these muscles right here are middle compartment, so we don't need them. But these two here are part of it. We're going to start with them. And so first, these two muscles here that you see, they are called together the iliopsoas, okay? Iliopsoas. It's comprised of two separate muscles, okay? And these muscles are called the psoas major and the iliacus, okay? They arise from the pelvis. So what I mean is that they arise between, not between, but within the compartment that is withheld by the two hip bones. They start there in that region. And they pass under something called the inguinal ligament, and I will show you exactly what I mean. And they go into the anterior compartment of the thigh, where they have a common tendon, okay? So, for example, let me just select it for you and show you what I was talking about. So I will select both of them. Just give me a second. Ah, bro. 1 second. Okay. When we isolate it, you will see that these two muscles are like that. One of them, of course, they start in the pelvic region. So the pelvic region is the region between the two hip bones, and they pass under something called the inguinal ligament that does that. This is the anterior iliac spine, and it goes all the way to the other spot, and it passes like this. These muscles pass under it, and they form a common tendon, which is situated into the anterior compartment of the thigh. Let me just select all of those things for you so that you know exactly what we are talking about, and I hope I can find the inguinal ligament. Let me get the connective tissue out here. You can see this is the inguinal ligament. And if we select maybe the pubis and the ilium, then we isolate those things. You can see here how it's situated. So it goes from the anterior superior iliac spine and attaches to the pubis and extends all the way to a common tendon in the anterior compartment. Now, to start with, this is the psoas major, and this is the iliacus. From the name, so that you're not confused, the iliacus is the one that originates from the ilium. Okay, the ilium. And the psoas major originates from the lumbar region. And in this case, let me select some lumbar regions. I hope I can find it here through the muscle structures so that we are able to get them out. Yes, we can select those to show you how it originates. There. So you can see through this that the psoas major here, it originates through different two spots, as in it has two heads, the first head and the second head. So the first head originates from the transverse processes of the lumbar vertebrae, and the second head originates from the lateral surface of the bodies of the lumbar vertebrae. And now what it does, it goes down and travels through the pubic region and under the inguinal ligament, and it inserts Just give me a second. Into the common tendon. Okay. So where is this common tendon inserting at? It will insert onto the lesser trochanter of the femur. And so let me select the femur for us because it's needed here. So we isolate and we see how they insert here. You can see that there's a common tendon and it will insert onto the lesser trochanter of the femur. So this is the first two muscles of the anterior compartment of the thigh. All right, so now what are we required to know about them? We know origins, we know the course, and we know insertions of both of the psoas major. But the iliacus right now, you can see that it originates from, it doesn't take all of the surface of the ilium or the ala of the ilium. It only takes about 3/4 or 2/3. And that's where it originates. It then travels below the inguinal ligament and takes the same route of the psoas major at some point, makes a common tendon, and inserts onto the lesser trochanter. What are the actions of those muscles? What they do is they flex the thigh at the hip joint. So flexion of the thigh at the hip joint. Okay. What are they innervated by? They're innervated by something called the anterior rami of L1 to L3. Remember, so this is L1, L2, L3. You know that the spinal cord runs through this hole right here. And so it will give off ramis at those regions, and it will help innervate those two muscles. So how they're innervated, L1, L2, L3 for specifically psoas major, and the iliacus on its own here has a different innervation, the femoral nerve. So if they ask you, psoas major is innervated by what? You will say anterior rami of L1, L2, and L3. And what is the iliacus innervated by? It's innervated by the femoral nerve. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is something called the quadriceps femoris. Remember, let's reset. Let's remove the multiple selection and we will dive into those muscles. This is the sartorius. Okay. We are not gonna be talking about this now because it's not part of the quadriceps femoris. What is the quadriceps femoris? Here. Quadriceps femoris is this part. Your quads. When people tell you what are your quads, you will tell them it's this muscle right here, extending together to form a common tendon at the patellar tendon. So these ones right here are four. You have, first of all, the rectus femoris. Let me remove the pen. Yes, rectus femoris. We have vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and vastus intermedius. Okay, so let's select them and dive into them slowly. We will make multiple selection again. I will have to reset. Yes, so we will first select, no, yes, here, I want to select medius, Okay. And I need the one below. I don't know if I can get it. Yes, I got it. No, it's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. Mm, maybe this one. No. Need to make sure it's selected. Maybe it's this. No, it's not. Okay, but you get it. It's just under. I can't get it. You will see that the intermedius is between those two on the bottom. And now let's take out first the bone. Okay, here. Okay. So as I go, I will go into it. So first, the quadriceps consists of four individual muscles, as I said, the three vastus muscles and rectus femoris. Okay. Uh, of course, as we see, if you place your hand on the anterior part of your thigh, you will see that it it it, it it is it is a big bulge, and that bulge is because of this muscle group called the quadriceps femoris. And from the name, quad means four, quadriceps femoris, so hence four muscles. And it is one of the most powerful muscles in the body. Of course, if you talk about it, it is required to extend um, the shaft, your shaft, which the part of the leg that is below the knee. These muscles are able to extend your shaft. Like for example, a soccer player, okay, if he wants to kick a ball, one of the strongest things that actually cause a very intense hit to the soccer ball towards the goal is this muscle, because as the player is trying to shoot, these muscles contract so hard, extending the part of the leg below the knee, causing it to uh, have the lower part of the leg to move fast, hitting the ball at a high speed, causing it to be forwarded towards the goal. And that's the function of it in a way when you're playing soccer, for example, or in other activities when you're swimming, when you're walking, um, I don't know, when you're trying to stand up. Yes, very, very important. Okay. Um, the four muscles, what they do at the end, and I will show you. Let me just select. They join together to form a tendon here, the patellar tendon. They all insert into the patellar tendon and hence end at the famous bone called the tibia. Okay. And we will dive into each separately now that we have seen it, just so that you get the image. I will select now just the individual muscles for us. We need those. We don't need this. So let's select vastus lateralis, and that's the muscle. The attachment, it originates from the greater trochanter. Hence, we can include the femur in a way. Here, exactly. You can see this is the vastus lateralis. Okay. And it originates from the greater trochanter and the lateral lip of linea aspera of the femur, but greater trochanter is enough. It it when we talk about where it inserts, always mention the patellar tendon. They all join together to enter the patellar tendon, and then the patellar tendon is involved on the tibia. Um, and the innervation of this muscle is by femoral nerve. Remember, femoral bone, it starts there, and innervated by the femoral nerve. What's its action? Extend the knee joint. As I said, it extends the knee joint. Um, it also has some sort of function to stabilize the patella at the end. Because why? You know that those muscles, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Now that the femur is selected, let me show you something. I'm gonna select, I don't know if I can select the patella here. Is it selected? No. Okay, wait. Let's see. Yes, we can't select the patella now. Okay. Yes, here. There we go. We can select it. We selected the femur. We selected, let's say, the tibia. Get out the connective tissue again. Select this here. I'll select those again. And I will select where they start. No, not here, here. Okay. Now, you can see how they are also able to stabilize the patella because these muscles in a way run over. Let's select also the connective tissue on top of it, and you will see that they put the patella in place. So again, the vastus lateralis, it originates from the greater trochanter, goes on the course laterally of the femur, inserts into the patellar tendon at the end. The actions of it is that it extends the knee joint. If the knee joint is, let's say you are sitting down, and this tibia is like this, what it does if they contract, okay, what it does is that it pulls onto this region, and this part becomes here, okay? And it's innervated by femoral nerve, okay? Now, the next muscle is vastus, the vastus intermedius. I'll hide this one for now. Okay, how can I? Well, the vastus intermedius is the one below. I wasn't maybe able to select it. Yes, it's below it. Let's maybe deselect everything and I will hide it. That's the, where is it? There. Here, vastus intermedius. The vastus intermedius, you can see that it has a proximal attachment on the anterior and lateral surface of the femoral shaft. Okay. And it also dives into the tendon that runs over the patella. Okay, always. Because the insertions for all of them are common. Attached to the tibial tuberosity through the patellar ligament, okay? That's the insertions for all of those muscles. And then actions of this is that it extends the knee joint again and stabilizes patella again, okay? Innervation, femoral nerve, okay? Now this one, vastus medialis, it originates from the intertrochanteric line, okay? Extends to reach the tibial tuberosity by attaching to the patellar tendon. Function is extending the knee joint and stabilizing of patella femoral nerve innervation. Okay. Select it. Now that we have it. And let's go back here. This one. Get the patella out. Okay. And get it back. Patellar tendon. These ones here. Then we get tibia, ilium. Perfect. So we isolate them. And we can see we just missed the rectus femoris. And you can see it, all of those muscles. These are the quadriceps, okay? Finally, the rectus femoris, which is the one here on top. The rectus femoris, it's the longest one out of all. Now, you have to be careful because the three under it, vastus stuff, they all originate from the femur. This one extends on top, and that's why I included the ilium this time. It extends to originate from the anterior superior, no, the anterior inferior, not here, here, the anterior inferior iliac spine and the ilium of the pelvis, okay? It attaches to the patella, again, via the patellar tendon, okay? Again, actions, extension of the knee joint, so it causes the movement of the tibia this way when the knee joint is flexed, okay? And it causes flexion of the hip joint. That's a different function that we didn't talk about because, as we said, it's only the function of this muscle compared to the three others. It causes flexion of the hip joint. What does it mean? Is that now someone is standing, imagine with me that his body is like that, standing upright. So if this muscle contracts, what it does is it will cause, for example, let's say here, imagine that the femur, that the femur moved up like that. That's a function of the rectus femoris, okay? Flexion of this joint, okay? And these are the four muscles. So now we have finished the anterior compartment of the thigh in general, but we have a little bit of extra muscles that I will show you now. Let's get it out. I'll reset. Yes, here. Select it. That's the sartorius. And this one is the longest muscle actually in the anterior compartment. And sartorius is not only the longest muscle in the anterior compartment, but the longest muscle in the body. It's called the sartorius. And it is thin, as we see. It runs across the thigh inferiorly medially. So the direction is go down, and go medial.